Good day, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world. And Bonzai again greets you. Actually, let me just bring Bonzai up and you can just say hello to him. Okay, here's the rascal. Aren't you a little rascal? He loves giving me kisses. Anyway, just so you know what's behind the noises, there you go. Here's old Bonzai. You going to say hello to the camera? Hey, Bonzai, you going to say hello? Hello, everybody. Hello. Hello, my name's Bonzai. All right. So, there we have a little lighter moment. Now, getting back to the story. You know how just about wherever you look in South Africa, things are going cactus. And one of the things that they still have in South Africa is a fairly good internet, although when load shedding happens, that kind of tends to put a dampener on people who want to use, for example, the internet and so on. But now what's happening in South Africa is that MultiChoice, which we don't like MultiChoice anyway. I mean, that's that DSTV mob, you know, the ones who, we had the DSTV challenge with Steve Hofmeyer. Well, they're in the poo right now, and I'll tell you why in a second. But first of all, one of the major mobile companies in South Africa is called MTN. And I've been following this story for a while now and just been watching to see what happens. And let me tell you what's happening to MTN, because we're talking about two very large communication companies, and communication in today's age is critical. MTN is losing millions of rands to cell phone tower battery theft and vandalism. In a statement on Thursday, the 15th of August, the company said that hundreds of towers around the country are at risk of being permanently shut down, putting strain on the network and potentially diminishing the quality of the service provided to customers. As many as 89 cell towers across the country are currently on hold as they await replacement batteries and maintenance fixes. It added that 53 base stations have already been completely destroyed and have had to be terminated nationally, 39 in Tshwane, which is the Pretoria region, and 15 in Johannesburg. Now, this is impacting on their ability to provide a service to people with cell phones or mobile phones. The MTN GM of Network Operations, Ernest Paul, said, "This situation leaves many South Africans without access to network services, either because of downtime caused by repeated maintenance and repairs, or in the extreme case of towers being terminated, where the regular theft and vandalism renders the towers unsustainable." He said the impact on consumers' access to emergency services, effective business operations, and connecting with loved ones. This is a national problem, and more communities and people need to realize they may experience no service at some point if this continues, as loss of services and network quality can range from a 2 to 5 kilometer radius to 15 kilometers in some sites, and affect between 5,000 to 20,000 people at any given time. According to Paul, the cost to fix these towers, which can be brought back online, is as much as 350 million rand. An added burden is that damage of this nature is not insurable. There is a misconception that this type of damage is insured, Paul said. While you can get insurance for a major disaster, it is not feasible to insure a base station due to the high level of excess that would apply to claims of this nature, he said. Paul said that there is a risk if the theft of batteries is not stopped, these costs will escalate and eventually have to be passed on to consumers. Now, what's actually happening with these batteries, I've heard in reports, is that these gangs who go in and they raid the batteries from the cell towers, they actually take them north into places like Zimbabwe and Zambia and sell them there. because there's a shortage of those batteries over there. And they make really good money out of it. So it's just another form of gangsterism that goes on in South Africa. But continue with MTN. MTN is, however, doing everything it can to avoid the closure of these towers and will provide monetary reward mechanisms for information which helps bringing the criminals to book, he said. MTN is encouraging people who see anything suspicious, either at a site or when someone tries to sell a battery without any branded markings or that looks used and doesn't physically come out of a sealed box, to immediately report it to the police or any one of the theft tip-off lines. As soon as levels of collaboration and general awareness improve, criminal activity slows down, Paul said. We saw this in the recovery of 1 million rands worth of batteries in Pretoria this past weekend. So we're talking about the whole communication industry being affected in South Africa. Now that's MTN. Now, what about MultiChoice? Now, look, I'm not a big fan of MultiChoice after the way they treated Steve Hofmeyr, and I'm hoping to get Steve Hofmeyr on a live stream in the near future. As you know, I actually exchanged emails with him while he was here in Brisbane. I met him, well, when I met him, I saw him live on the stage, and I did put up a video in my supplementary channel you can go and have a look at, of him singing at that Brisbane performance. Now, getting back to MultiChoice, they're in trouble as well, but in a very different way. The strike action by MultiChoice workers called by the ICTU has escalated as people burnt tyres outside the Johannesburg offices. The strike action by MultiChoice workers called by the Information and Communication Technology Union has escalated as people burnt tyres on Friday afternoon outside the Johannesburg offices. Now, I'm sorry I repeated that, but it is what it is. Members from ICTU are protesting about the company's restructuring process and retrenchment in a historic strike action. The ICTU spokesperson, Tebang Motelo, condemned the violence, adding no members of ICTU had participated in the burning of tyres. Motelo said, "We see this action as an action that is sponsored either directly by management or by opportunist unions. As ICTU, we condemn this act, and we say none of the people who have done this are from ICTU. Otherwise, our strike is successful." Workers from the pay TV service provider gathered at around 1 p.m. in readiness for the strike, but the Group Executive for Corporate Affairs, Joe Heshu, said MultiChoice has deemed the strike illegal. The threatened strike action is not only unprotected, it is also illegal. We call on all parties to act in a manner that will ensure the best outcomes for impacted employers. Motelo said the strike is expected to continue on Monday. So, as I said, what's happening here is that the chaos is spreading into totally different industries. And once it starts impacting on something as important as communication, which is basically the whole basis of business today, that's very, very disturbing. Now, please remember to subscribe to be kept informed. Ring the bell for the updates. Please click like to the video and have a safe evening and a safe day. Bye for now.